डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकर ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी.
Learners of Indian poetics. Yesterday we talked about Alankar, part 1. This is part 2. As I told you yesterday, Indian poetics is highly analytical, very comprehensive, and full of intellectual attitude. Those who were the theorists of Indian poetics discussed various schools, various theories like Rasa, Alankara, Auchitya, Vakrokti, Riti, etc. Today we are actually discussing Alankar part 2. But before that, I welcome you all and I recommend all young students, particularly young students, to learn about Indian poetics. It is now time to rejuvenate and revive our great culture, our great literature, and our great understanding of poetics and aesthetics. So now let us move towards our video number 2, Alankar part 2. So the first point here is, what is Vichitti? The word Vichitti means Vaichitra, queerness or strikingness. You all know that the word Vaichitra is Vichitra. Vichitra is something queer, something strange, something striking. Yesterday we had used this word striking. Striking means eye-catching. It would draw the attention of your eyes, your ears and your mind. Actually, Vichitti is the effect that Vakrokti makes. Vakrokti is the cause and Vichitti is the effect. When something strange, something curved. Yesterday we had used this word Vakrokti. Vakrokti means curved expression, indirect expression. When some indirect expression is expressed, it makes effect, which is called Vichitti. Vichitti has synonyms like Chamatkar and Charutva. Chamatkar means something miraculous and Charutva means something beautiful. The best examples we can take is from modern literature, particularly O. Henry's stories in America. O. Henry's stories have abrupt ending. The end of the story is always abrupt and it is full of Vaichitra, it is full of queerness, it is full of strikingness. I am sure that many of you must have read O. Henry's stories. The greatest story that you must have read is about husband and wife who are actually poor, and when Christmas comes, they want to gift something to their husband, to her husband, and to his wife. Actually, the husband had an old watch. So he goes to the market and sells his watch. And then comes his wife, who sells her long, beautiful hair and buys the chain, golden chain or platinum chain for her husband's watch. And her husband sells his watch and buys beautiful and very costly combs. When they come home, when her husband comes home, he finds that his wife is very disturbed because her hair has been cut down. At the end, they realize that her husband has sold his watch and his wife had sold her hair. Now, there was no hair for her, for combs, and there was no watch because he had already sold it. Now, this is an abrupt ending. Abrupt ending shows that this is the actual abrupt ending with Vaichitra, with queerness. This queerness is an important part of poetic beauty. Now we can take another example, that face is not lotus, but face, upameya, the object of comparison, is doubtful, is doubted. So this means that face is not lotus. But in our Indian culture, we often compare face with lotus. When we say Mukharavinda, it means that face is like Aravinda. Aravind means lotus. But we understand that face is never like lotus. It is just strange, queer comparison. This queer comparison can be called Vichitti or Vaichitra, that happens ending into Vichitti. So we discussed this small but very important part of Indian poetics, that all alankaras should create Vaichitra, should create Vichitti, that affects the mind of the reader, on the mind of the bhavak, on the mind of Saradaya. Now, lack of poetic beauty and strikingness generates common experience. If there is no poetic beauty, if there is no strikingness, it gives a common experience. Common experience is an ordinary experience, and it means it is Varta. Varta can be translated as a description, as a story, as something very common. So, Varta is not striking. Varta has no poetic beauty. Poetic beauty is the part of Vaichitra or strangeness or strikingness. Chamatkar is an aesthetic delight for the readers, as I told you just now. Chamatkar, the word Chamatkar means miracle. In fact, what is miracle? Miracle is something strange that happens, something you can't understand. It gives you aesthetic delight. When something strange happens, something miraculous happens, it gives you aesthetic delight. When you read any story or a poem and you find something beautiful, something aesthetic, something chamatkarik, miraculous, you immediately realize that it makes or it gives you aesthetic delight. Vaman, who was a great theorist, called it beauty of poetry, Saundarya. Vaman believed that Vaichitra or something strange, Vakrokti, is the part of poetry, is the part of beauty of poetry, which he uses the word Saundarya. Vichitti depends on Pratibha. Now Vichitti can be generated by the writer, by the poet, but it depends on his Pratibha, on his genius. Genius of the poet is very important. When we read Kalidas, we find something strange, very beautiful. Let me just give you an example. In Kalidasa's famous play, Shakuntalam, when Dushyant, the hero of the play, goes to the ashram of Kanva Muni where Shakuntala lived, Shakuntala's lips were so pink and beautiful. Shakuntala was so beautiful that a wasp was flying and was trying to sit on the lips of Shakuntala. Why? Because her lips looked like a flower. Dushyant goes there with a sword in his hand and attacks rather on wasp, which goes away. And we all know that Dushyant and Shakuntala fall in love. Dushyant lives there for some time, and Shakuntala was married to Dushyant. But I give you this example to show what Vichitti is. It depends on the pratibha, the genius of the poet. No other poet can create such a beautiful thing. The same thing happens in Shakespeare also. When in Macbeth, Lady Macbeth says, "All the perfumes of Arabia cannot sweeten my little hand." Now, these words are so beautiful. All the perfumes of Arabia, Arabian perfume is so beautiful and so full of fragrance that it would destroy all kinds of other odors. But she says that all the perfumes of Arabia cannot sweeten her hand. This is something vichitti, which happens due to the genius, the pratibha of the poet. The other points are Mammat, Vishwanath, also elaborated this concept of vichitti. Vichitti is not so popular, but still Mammat, Vishwanath and Vaman elaborated this concept of vichitti. Other important alankaras, yesterday also we had in our last video lecture, we talked about it. These major alankaras which Bharat Muni described are upama, which is simile, which is the most significant poetic figure. It is said in Sanskrit that Kalidas is famous for upama. Upama is an alankar, embellishment, decoration, beauty, adding beauty to poetry. In most of the poems and drama of Kalidas, you find beautiful upama, beautiful similes. Right from the Vedic writings to Kalidas, it played major role. Even in Vedic times of Vedas, there were many examples of similes. And as I told you about Kalidas, who wrote, used, employed beautiful upamas, which are highly poetical, highly aesthetic, and it provides you delight. Rupak means metaphor. It is another way of expressing simile in condensed form. Actually, Rupak is similar to simile. It is like upama, but the only difference is in upama there is a comparison. For example, he was as brave as a lion. But in Rupak, there is no use of as or like, but it says, he says, he was a lion. When a poet says he was a lion, it means metaphor. In metaphor, there is no comparison with the words like as, but direct condensed form, like he was a lion, Bhim was elephant. If we use the word elephant, we don't compare him, but call him lion, call him elephant. Utpreksha is also a figure of comparison. It means, I can give you an example. Uttara, the wife of Abhimanyu, cried, wept. There were tears in her eyes. The poet says, when Uttara wept, her eyes were full of tears, but these tears looked like snow particles in her eyes. As if, very often this word is used, as if they were snow particles. So this kind of example is called Utpreksha, which is also a figure of comparison. So simile, metaphor and Utpreksha, all the three are actually comparative or comparison between two things, Upaman and Upameya. Upameya means something with which it is compared, and Upaman means what is compared. For example, when we say Bhim was an elephant, Bhim is Upaman and elephant is Upameya. There are many other alankaras which we may talk in forthcoming videos, but let me give you an example that very often there is very important metaphor, important comparison in slash also. Slash is not direct comparison, but it has a double meaning or triple meaning or multiple meaning. When you say, if you know, in the Mahabharata, when Aswathama died, actually it was an elephant that died, and the name of the elephant was Aswathama. But Guru Drona's son, Aswathama, even Yudhishthir, who never told a lie, he always told the truth, said, either elephant or the real Aswathama has died. Now, this word Aswathama is used like slash. In further lectures, further videos, we will discuss some other alankaras also. Now, the most beautiful thing, the most beautiful concept of Indian poetics is rasa concept, the idea of rasa. We all know what rasa is. Actually, the word rasa has a multiple meaning in Sanskrit. We all know that rasa can be used as juice, as sap, as essence, as the essence of something. For example, when we talk about love, rati. Now, rati is sthai bhav, but sringar is rasa. So, the concept of rasa is very important, one of the most beautiful concept in Indian poetics. And I am sure that you know that Bharata Muni was the pioneer, the exponent of rasa theory. And he talked about rasas, which was in his famous book Natya Shastra. He wrote a book called Natya Shastra, but it was not limited to drama only. It was related to poetry, it was related to abhinay, acting, dancing, music, poetry and literature in general. Rasa is an embellishment of Kavya Sarira. Kavya Sarira means the body of poetry. The body of poetry looks beautiful with the help of rasa only. When there is rasa, the Kavya Sarira is embellished, is decorated, looks beautiful. Bamaha and Dandin use the term rasa in technical and non-technical sense. Bamaha and Dandin were the two theorists who also used the term rasa, different from Bharat Muni, and they used it in technical way and non-technical way. Rasavad was exposed as a poetic figure by Dandin. Rasavad means alchemy, creation of something out of mixture of some metals. Like gold is created out of some metals. It is called Rasavad. And Rasavad is a creation of rasa, which Dandin exposes. Now, the most important thing that we should know is about, of course, in future, in further videos, we will talk about rasa theory. But now, talking about even alankaras, we discuss the basic ideas of sthai bhav. Sthai bhav turns into rasa For example, when Rati, love, turns into Sringara, it turns into, and Krodha turns into Raudra. I can give you some more examples also. Hasa means laughter, which is a sthai bhava, turns into hasya. The same thing, soka turns into karuna rasa. Utsaha turns into veera rasa. Bhaya turns into bhayanaka rasa. Jugupsa turns into bibhatsa rasa. Vismay turns into adbhuta rasa. And Nirved turns into santa rasa. In short, every sthai bhav means permanent feeling. We all in our hearts, these feelings are there. The feelings of love, feeling of anger, feeling of soka, feeling of utsaha, feeling of hasa, means hasya. All these things are there, but when they are intensified, they turn into rasa. So with this idea, let us further discuss final thing. According to the Dhvani theorist, rasa is always suggested as Vyangya, which comes within the scope of Dhvani. Actually, Vyangya means suggestion, suggestiveness. Dhvani theorists believe that rasa is suggested as Vyangya, which is the part of Dhvani. Kalidas was deeply influenced by Alankara school, and many other poets were influenced by rasa theory and Alankara school. Bhamaha said that both sound and sense are important in Alankaras. Yesterday also, in our earlier lecture, we had discussed this, that Bhamaha said that there are two types of Alankaras, Shabda Alankara and Artha Alankara. So sound and sense are the two parts of Alankaras. Bhamaha was the pioneer of Alankara, and the pioneer of rasa theory was Bharat Muni. Udbhat, Vaman and Rudra followed Bhamaha. Bhamaha discussed few topics in his book Kavya Sarira, the body of poetry, Alankara, embellishment, dosha, blemishes or faults, nyaya, judgment, and sabda suddhi, purity of words. And further he said that poetry can be classified into fourfold way: prose and verse, gadya and padya, Sanskrit, Prakrit and Apabhransa. All you know that Sanskrit means pure divine language. Prakrit is natural for the ordinary people, and Apabhrans is something which is created out of mixture, and it is not pure, it is not natural. Human or divine, that is the third classification of poetry. And finally, based on imagination and other arts, that is what Bhamaha said. Dandin talked about two types of style, Gaudi and Vaidarbhi. These are the two styles, types of language. Mammat in his Kavya Prakasha, which is his famous book, discussed many Alankaras in 9th and 10th Ullasas. He used the word Ullasa for chapters. Vaman supported Alankaras, calling them means of Saundarya. And Vaman said that Alankaras are beautiful and it is the means of Saundarya. Saundarya can be created through Alankaras only. Bhamaha's Charu, Dandin's Kavya Sobha and Vaman's Saundarya are all related to Alankaras. And Bhamaha used the word Charu, means beautiful. Dandi used the word Kavya Sobha, and Vamana used the word Saundarya. They are all related to alankaras. And as we had already said, Shabda Alankara and Artha Alankar are the two major parts of Alankaras. So with this today we have discussed Alankar part 2, video number 2. I welcome you all to Indian Poetics, and I recommend you to join Indian Poetics so that we can learn about it. Even though you may be the student of English literature, you can make comparative study of Indian poetics, Indian Sanskrit literature and Western literature. It is now time to study comparative literature, and comparative literature should be encouraged more and more. So thank you very much. Thank you.
स्वाध्यायः परः